The war in Ukraine is about to become even more deadly as Western allies have donated tanks to help Ukraine to fight off Russian forces. Both sides are digging in and nobody seems to want peace anymore. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Vinny Lion. If this is your first time, you're welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for being there too. Please do not hesitate to like and share this video, and also please do make sure you subscribe. So today we are going to be talking about how the war in Ukraine is about to get even worse, because Western allies, after a year and after months of refusing to donate, high caliber weapons such as those tanks to Ukraine, have finally decided to make a U-turn and given Ukraine the tanks. The president of Ukraine, Zelensky, demanded about 300 tanks in order to help him and his forces continue to battle and push out the Russians from Ukrainian territory. And initially, most of NATO countries refused, especially the United States, refused to provide such arms as they did not want to be viewed as intervening directly in the conflict. However, Russia has been using the Wagner forces, who are mercenaries, to fight the Ukrainians, especially in the Donetsk region. So far, Ukraine has lost the city of Soledar. After months of pushing back the Russians and many victories, Ukraine earlier this year lost the city of Soledar to the Wagner forces and also some Russian defense forces. And this has alarmed the West. And Zelensky took the opportunity to say it's because of the lack of weapons, partly of lack of appropriate equipment, that they have seen this loss. And also they are in a bitter battle for Bakhmut right now, where the Ukrainian forces are trying to prevent the Russian forces from seizing the town of Bakhmut. And that is a very strategic town, as there are very strategic highways that will permit the Russians to be able to move easily into the rest of Ukraine. And so it seems to be a very strategic city, and the West does not want this city to fall in the hands of the Russians. Reason why they are providing the Ukrainians right now with tanks. Now, which type of tanks are being provided? And which countries have pledged to provide tanks? First of all, 3 countries so far have pledged to provide tanks or have been induced to do so. You have the US, who is going to be providing the M1 Abrams tanks. You have the UK, that is going to be providing the Challenger 2 tanks. And you have Germany, that is going to be providing the Leopard 2 tanks. These are the 3 countries now, and there is pressure right now on France to also contribute and provide tanks to Ukraine. As of now, out of the 300 tanks that Zelensky has demanded, about half of that number has already been made available. And they have started training the Ukrainian forces on how to use this tank ahead of the supply of these tanks to the Ukrainians. So why are the NATO countries now providing Ukraine with these tanks? As I already said, they don't want Ukraine to lose the city of Bakhmut, and they don't want the Russian forces gaining on and gaining more territory from Ukraine. And they want to give Ukraine an edge to keep pushing out the Russian forces and hopefully take back and gain back terrain that has been lost to the Russians. And from the onset, we know that the West has always been on the side of Ukraine. And they have been fighting several battles. While supplying the Ukrainians with weapons, they have tried not to be seen as being directly in conflict with the Russians. So it's some sort of a proxy war, if you call it that. Meaning that they are helping the Ukrainians with the weapons or with the equipment they need, but the Ukrainians are the ones to fight the fight. And so far, the Ukrainians have been performing well in many battles until recently that the Wagner group, which the mercenary group that I spoke about earlier, they have been pounding the Ukrainians. It's been a bitter battle between the two sides, but they have helped to win the city of Soledar. And now they are pounding the Ukrainian positions in the city of Bakhmut. And this is putting pressure on the Ukrainian front lines. So the tanks that have been donated to Ukraine definitely will help the Ukrainians to beef up their defenses and will help them to be able to fight back the Russians. It remains to be seen if this will give them the advantage that they need. A lot of experts have said this will help them because these are advanced weapon systems that can perform a lot. So far, the Ukrainians have been using old Soviet era tanks, mini tanks, if you like to call them that, because they are not as sophisticated as what they are going to get right now. And so it is expected that the battle shall turn in their favor. But as we know, Russia has not finished, of showing off what all they have up their sleeves. So I think that we are in for a rude battle, because Vladimir Putin, on the other hand, does not want to lose the fight. To him, it seems as it's very, very important for him to be viewed as a winner. And so far, since the war began, a lot of things have not been in his favor. But right now, since the Russian forces have started gaining some territory, they are hoping, and Vladimir Putin in particular is hoping, that they can continue to gain ground and push the Ukrainians and take as much territory as possible and ultimately defeat the Ukrainians. So this is shaping up to be very, 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 a deadly war, because there's no sign of peace, and every effort that is being, mentioned about peace is being rejected by both parties. They seem to be standing on impossible positions. One wants one thing and the other team wants another thing. And so it looks like this war is going to continue for quite a bit of time. And right now, there is no end in sight. So it remains to be seen what is going to happen. But definitely one thing that can be assured is that there are going to be a lot of casualties on both sides. And this, sad war continues. The West have tried to cut off Russia's funds. Russia tried to freeze Europe. That didn't work too. And the West strategy didn't work because Russia is still making money. Even they put a price cap on Russian oil, but yet Russia looked for new buyers, or they had already, been selling to China and India at a discount. And so they are still making a lot of money to continue sponsoring the war. And so it looks like there is no end in sight so far. We'll just be hoping for a miracle. But right now, the war is only going to get more deadly. Hopefully, sense will prevail, and hopefully peace shall be found soon, so that this war can come to an end. So peace is our only hope. So I don't know what your thoughts are. Please leave a comment down in the section below and let me know what your take is on this current situation between Russia and Ukraine, and what you think is the way forward. Thank you. Please don't hesitate to also like, share, and also subscribe. Thank you, and see you in the next video. Bye.